So it's currently September 11th, 2021. It's about 8:30 a.m. In the morning on a Saturday. It is the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center. So, we were just talking about this. A lot of people remember exactly where they were and what they were doing when that event happened. And for me, I was sitting in math class in high school. I remember I was on the third floor classroom in, I want to say it was a probabilities class. My teacher at the time was Dr. Larry Rice. I don't know how the news came into the classroom, because at the time people didn't have smartphones, right? Some of the kids probably had cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I was going to residency. So yeah, I don't quite remember how the news came into the classroom, but I do remember that it distinctly interrupted the class. And we were in Canada at the time, so it wasn't like, it didn't feel that close. And so people were shocked, and we looked around and kind of like, wow, what exactly is happening? But we went back to class. Class continued, and I wouldn't know more about the event until later when I went home and watched it on the news. Then followed 20 years of a very interesting time in modern history. And of course, earlier in September, end of August, was when the US finally started to withdraw out of Afghanistan. And of course, that was a whole thing in and of itself, a very sad state of affairs. But that's where we are today, on September 11th, 2021. What else is happening? COVID is making another surge. I guess this is the Delta variant. It's insane. We had a massive surge here, and that was back in January, and then the vaccines were released, and things looked like they were going pretty well for a while, because we kind of led the country for a little bit in vaccination rates. And if you watch the numbers, the cases plummeted, and it was quite nice. We went back to near normal. Restaurants were open. They are open. In fact, we were at a restaurant last night, and for better or worse, even some sporting events started to have spectators again, and things looked like they were going better for a bit. And of course, now things are just as bad as they have always been. In fact, I think our numbers now surpassed even those in January. So we were doing even worse. For a little bit, we had to shut things down a bit at the hospital. Absolutely essential services still kept going. Cancer cases still went forward. Obviously, emergency surgeries still continued, but clinic became very sparse. Purely, elective, non sort of life-threatening or limb-threatening type cases had to be put on hold. There was a committee that reviewed cases to make sure that only the very urgent ones needed to go. That happened what felt like many months ago. And we came out that other end, we started opening up. And of course, I've been as busy as ever. Been the busiest I've been in a long time. So much so, in fact, I haven't posted on this channel in 2 months. I mean, there were other things contributing to that, and I'll talk about it in a sec. But yeah, it's just sad that we are headed that way again, because we just got emails earlier this week saying that the hospital is once again going to start clamping down. We're going to have to start reviewing all our cases and only making sure that the urgent ones go ahead. So another major reason why I've been so busy lately and haven't posted on this channel in about 2 months is I just wrote my boards. It's hard to believe, but that was 2 weeks ago. I was going to make a video about it right after. Actually, I was thinking about making a video while I was in the car driving to the exam, but I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. I was thinking too much about the exam, and I just didn't feel like doing it. But I had to drive about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, to a testing center for the boards, and so I figured I could just like mount a camera somewhere on the inside of a car and just kind of record and just talk while I was driving. But yeah, like I said, ultimately I chose not to do that. But now that it's done, it's great. That's a weight lifted off my shoulders, and so I want to get back to vlogging. Vlogging, I think it shouldn't be about the views. It shouldn't be about trying to get as many viewers or subscribers. It should be about yourself and talking through your thoughts. It's essentially a journal, right? People back in the day used to keep journals. In fact, my sister and I, when we were kids, I think we kept a journal. I think my sister kept up with it better than I did. I didn't particularly enjoy writing a journal, but yeah, back in the day, people did that. You gave yourself some time to reflect about your day or your week. Put thoughts into words and think through things a little bit, right? And I think it's therapeutic, and this is the modern way of doing it. Recording a video and then editing it, right? So it's something that probably you should continue to do, even when you are busy, for its therapeutic effects. But yeah, unfortunately, I just didn't have the time. But I'd like to get back into it. One of the things I wanted to talk about about my experience writing the exam was, like I said, I had to drive about 3 hours out of town to a testing center, and so I had to stay at a hotel room the night before, and the hotel was fine. It's like any other hotel. I think I stayed at a Marriott. But I didn't sleep a wink the night before the exam, and part of it may be nerves, but I don't think it was all nerves. So a major part of it is something I just don't understand about hotels. Why did they put that gigantic AC unit, that window unit in the room? Why can't they use central air conditioning? Those window units are so loud, and they seem to go on constantly. I had the room set at 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which isn't that cool, right? But even then, that air conditioner was still going on most of the night. It was so loud. And so I found it very difficult to sleep. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And even I get that, you know, older buildings, it may be difficult to retrofit central air, but I feel like there are many window unit types of AC that aren't that loud. I've seen them. I've seen smaller AC units that are very, very quiet. They basically sound like a fan. I don't understand it. You know, and a lot of window units tend to stick out. You know, most of it is actually sitting outside the window, and you know, there's just the grill that's on the inside. But these AC units, it seems like most of the thing is inside the room. Anyway, obviously I don't imagine hotels are going to be watching this video, but man, I really wish that hotels would replace all those massive, noisy window AC units. Oh, another thing you may have noticed, I got myself a set of AirPods Pros. I'll probably make a separate video about it, but in brief, they're great. I love them. They're not without their faults, but they've been working out pretty well. These things have been in my ear a lot. I've had them for about a week now, and I've already had to charge them. By them, I mean the earphones and the case, probably like 3 times. I've been using them a lot. Anyway, but that'll probably be a separate video.
Hey, look at that little... You want to go down this way? Yeah.
Well, it is about 8:30 p.m. and as you can see, I am in the hospital. So there was a case that came in that required an ICU admission unless I could, you know, intervene and do surgery right away, you know, on the weekend. So I came in to do that, even though I wasn't on call, just to get him a shot at leaving the ICU and sort of helping with the ICU bed shortage. So this is probably going to be it for today. I'm probably going to head home soon, and that's it. I'll see you in the next one.